Testing. 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 Okay. Hi, Small Love True here. I have an update. I'm actually rendering a video of a message from Music Alchemy, and I'd like to share something that I'd received. Let's see here. Yeah. So this is a message I got from Tony, and Tony said, "Hey, you still alive? You still alive?" And then he proceeds to send me a couple of links here, actually documents. So the first one, and I've been working on it today. Let's see if I get this. It comes back to this source here. Let's see if I can just, yeah. So here's the first one. It's called Current and Nano Diagnostic Tools for Dengue Infection. Now, the other four include, or excuse me, the other three that were included is illustrations of what comes out of the body and impact of C60, and also synthetic microorganisms allow scientists to study ancient evolutionary mysteries, and pentetic acid, DTPA. So this is actually a let's see, hopefully it comes out. This is a 16-page document that anybody who's looking at current and nanodiagnostic tools for dengue infection may be interested in this. And yes, it goes over the abstract introduction, current diagnostic tools for dengue infection, enzyme-linked immunoabsorbent assay, reverse transcriptase, polymerase chain reaction, advanced diagnostic tools for dengue infection, nanoscale sensitivity instrument-based biosensor design, quartz crystal microbalance, photonic crystals, surface plasmon resonance, electrochemical impedance spectroscopy, nanoscale material-based biosensor design, which includes nanowires, liposomes, and nanopores. And there is the conclusion, acknowledgement, and references included in this 16-page PDF. So you can take a look at this. Let's see. The next one that I would go over is current illustrations. So this should be interesting as well. I believe this is in, oh, it takes just a moment. Try not to over-click. This will include illustrations and annotations. Try again. Okay, here we go. Just a little glitch here. So this is a 3-page annotated document that Tony had put together. Oh, and just to go back here, after Tony had shared these 4 documents, there's some light reading. So Tony's message continues. They have been hitting us hard, people complaining of migraines. I've had this headache from hell all day. I don't get headaches. Some are seeing prisms in one eye. And this should be of interest as well. I actually posted this on the YouTube channel there. That is, this is Jason Theris. And Jason Theris had sent this video. I don't think I could play this. I'll have this in a link in the video description. Okay. So let's take a look at the second document that Tony had sent. Illustrations of what comes out of the body and impact of C60. So here is a commentary in the side. So this is the annotated document that Tony had spent some time on. Let's see. An additional observation is that modified fullerenes may become more biocompatible if organic and or charged adducts are present. Due to the various modifications, fullerenes may reassemble cellular components, particularly proteins, because of the spherical structure, amphiphilic nature, and stable conformation. And so these are some images that Tony had brought up. Okay, let's go over a little review of this. Let's see. Or double-strand DNA molecules and C60 in aqueous solution, despite the hydrophobic nature of C60, our results show that fullerenes strongly bind to nucleotides. We observe the displacement of water molecules from the region between the nucleotides and the fullerenes, and we attribute the large favorable interaction energies to the hydrophobic interactions. C60. So Tony's comment, second comment there, it releases the hydrogen bonds, making terahertz activation more potent and excessively damaging to the DNA and mitochondria. C60 binds to double-stranded DNA, either at the hydrophobic ends or at the minor groove of the nucleotide. C60 binds to single-strand DNA and deforms the nucleotides significantly and frustrate the hydrogen bonds between end groups, base pairs in the nucleotide. So, fullerenes can stably occupy the damaged site. One result, actually, the third note Tony had made is anyone wants a terahertz assault. This causes mayhem when that frequency associates with hydrogen, another scam in the health food industry. Fullerenes can stably occupy the damaged site. Our results clearly indicate that the association between C60 and DNA is stronger. that C60 molecules have potentially negative impact on the structure, stability, and biological functions of DNA molecules. Okay, so I'm going to continue reading here. Fullerenes may become more biocompatible if organic and or charged adducts are present. This may therefore make it easier for fullerenes to pass unhindered by the body's defense system, making modified fullerenes harder to be identified and degrade through increasing bioavailability via bioresemblance, where toxins were more efficiently transported through the lungs due to their compatibility with the tissue. Biocompatibility can thus also facilitate hormonal disturbances and other pathophysiological effects. The MAP studies are reported below in categories. Their results showed how aggregates of pristine C60 in combination with aromatic compounds experimentally used and tested as carriers inhibited neutrophil function and affected embryonic development. This implied that they characterized the studied fullerenes as teratogenic. It damages genes, genetics, and DNA. That's what teratogenic means. Such as diatoms in the circulation and transformation of gases from the aqueous phase to the atmosphere. The presence of pristine C60 in modern society at high concentrations, for example, through consumer materials, can therefore pose a significant risk ecotoxicologically and toxicologically. And toxicologically. So the fourth note that Tony had written here, in the study by Nakagawa et al., 2011, hydroxylated fullerenes, also named fullerenones, were tested on rat hippocampitis. The fullerenes showed strong detrimental effects and induced cell death within the 3H in the rat liver cells, such as ATP and thiol levels were depleted by the fullerenes. Substantial damage on the mitochondrial membrane, particularly the highly hydroxylated fullerenes types, which induced chemical modification of the lipomolecules. The mitochondrial membrane was affected most negatively, led directly to dysfunction of the adenosine 50 trithiosulfate, triphosphate, ATP synthesis, and cell death. C60 makes the hydrophobic particle more hydrophilic, while simultaneously introducing other side effects, where innocuous molecules such as water are transported by the toxic agent into domains within the cell where they become detrimental and act as co-contaminant. Let's see, so I got now I did do that one. So I'm looking for the other article. Here we go. There's two others that were included here, and this again comes from the links that Tony had sent. Synthetic microorganisms allow scientists to study ancient evolutionary mysteries. And let's see if I can make it one smaller here. Okay. So this is a 4-page document that Tony had annotated. And I suggest rather than sitting through listening to me try to read it, go ahead and read it yourself. And there's a lot of good information in here. Okay, it's just 3 pages then. And the sites are there as well. So this is regarding synthetic microorganisms allow scientists to study ancient evolutionary mysteries. Collaborators have created more microorganisms that can capitulate key features of organisms through how life evolved, or from inanimate molecules to single-cell organisms to the complex multicellular life forms we see today. And here on the side, this is where Tony actually puts his the annotated notes is where he's highlighting the information that he found and thought, or evolved is the word that he has pulled out, and the terminology could also be used here: manipulated, altered, modified. So this is another article. And then there is a resource, the 4th resource that Tony had sent, which is called the pentetic acid, DTPA. And let's see, it looks like it's a CD-ROM, and this is the information that was on it. Project at a glance. And this is 7 pages long with introduction, suppliers, company and consultancy, patents, MSDS. Then there are products, reports, studies. Then you can order a CD-ROM today, and then there's the project. Okay, so the primary information services is based at India. Okay, so that may be most of the data. Most of the data is from animal studies. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share today about what's up with not bringing out any videos from Tony. Let's see. I had mentioned that I wasn't seeing any of the podcasts being uploaded to the Beanpod. So it's a matter of looking for a new podcast hosting service. Okay. Yeah, so I will put this in the video description to let everybody know that Tony's still alive and kicking with a terrible headache from hell. And there are these resources. What I did do is I've added to this, I've added, let's see here. So this is the directory that I've created of the podcast. It still needs a lot of work, and I've actually just gotten another email from another viewer, and he had been keeping contact, or he had been gathering different remedies and putting them together. So I will have a link for that as well. I'll try to figure out how I can share that. Maybe I'll just put it here on the resource directory. But as we can see, Tony's been very busy. There are perhaps less than a dozen links on this this site, which I call the Herbs Plus Beadworks resource directory. And it's what I've put as a featured post. But the recent posts are in here. Let's see. One that I had just put in is okay. I would say I've made it so that there are these bold texts, and I've tried to alphabetize them. So we've got music as frequency bombardment. Those are the lyrics. And Gwen Scott's in here, glyphosates. This goofy guruitis is a link to the video, Tony's podcast. And then there are other major resources. Like if anyone was interested in looking at protein, this is a molecular nutrition of amino acids and proteins, and that's a PDF that's 342 pages. Let's just take a look at that. Yeah. So 342 pages, and then there's also an index on the side. Oops. Okay. Come back out from here. Found a video, very simple explanation on sonication process. Tony's meal video. Radiation detox. Let's see, there was one that this is an interesting one here, the Merck's 1899 manual. It's 200 pages. Again, I'll have this in the video description. And if there are any links that happen to be broken, please let me know. And I'll try to fix them on this end. Okay, so hope this finds you all well. And enjoy the weekend. Smo out.